Hey, welcome to the Brothers of Influence podcast where we stand. All right, calm down. Where we stand to encourage, inspire, and add value in the areas of life, leadership, and community. My name is Ian Williams. I happen to be your purpose coach. Man, I'm excited to be here today. Before we get started, we just want to run through the intro. Let's go. Yes, sir. Brothers and Influence podcast.
What's up?
You are rocking with the best. Yeah, again, this is Ian Williams, your purpose coach. You can find me across social media platforms at Ian Coaches, because that's what I do. I have to be shoulder to shoulder with an amazing person, individual, man, husband, father, all the superlatives. He happens to be a coach, business owner, man of many hats. Let's see, what else can I say? Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and stop myself from allowing him to introduce himself.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure I wouldn't do it justice anyway.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, man, I think you need to put yourself out there and let you just do mediate for people, like do the facilitation, bro. You be killing it.
I'm a part-time hype man.
Yeah. You put you on game, man. So hey, this is your boy Sherrod Ledet. I am a leadership locksmith, the professor, growth coach of Greater Lexington. Listen, I help business owners, I help entrepreneurs, I help leaders, help men in general. Just help them get from their now to their next opportunity. Right? We're all in a now situation, but what does that next opportunity look like? Right? So that's what I do. There's no one way fits all. There's various different ways of doing it, but the one thing that I can tell you is that the next opportunity is right around the corner. So,
yes, sir. From your now to your next, ladies and gentlemen. From your now to your next.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen. Let's what's that look like? What we got to figure out what the present reality is.
Oh man, yeah. What the present reality? I mean, the reality that is your now situation, right? Mm-hmm. What is going on in your current state, but your now situation also has to do with where you're going. Hopefully, I would say majority of us have an idea, we have a goal, we have a plan. If not, I mean, we at least in our minds anyway. But sometimes that doesn't translate out. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's kind of your now situation. So when we look at that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be good or bad. It's just where you're at currently. So it's that moment. Right. It's the moment. My philosophy is not about being right or wrong. It's being effective now to experience the moment. And in your now situation is experiencing that moment. And then for me, it's like being efficient. So it's about moving forward. Right. So whatever that next opportunity looks like, you embrace where you are now and identify where you're going. And then let's close the gaps. Gaps being that of knowledge, what knowledge and information skills that we don't have or need. Even if we do have a lot of knowledge and information, if we identify where we're trying to go, there might be a knowledge gap there. Mm-hmm. And then we got to, figure out as far as like even relationships. So now we're talking about exposure, right? So who do I need to talk to? What do I need to be exposed to? That's just another way of a form of getting more information and knowledge, right? Creating and making that habit of learning, right? One of the things that has helped me get to where I'm at now is learning became a lifestyle. Right? Leadership is a lifestyle. I don't call myself a locksmith just because it sounds great. I call it myself a locksmith because that's the title I've earned because I've helped so many people unlock certain aspects of their own leadership, right? As I have unlocked a lot of aspects of my own leadership. And it's a continuous cycle, right? And then the last aspect is just knowing your potential, right? So who you are, self-knowledge, right? We all got skills. We all got talents. We all know what we know about ourselves, but we have to build that self-awareness. And the best way to do that is find out who I am and what I do best, right? And the best opportunity to do that is right now, right now in your own situation, right? It is. And you're developing yourself, you're growing yourself, right? And I can tell you that again, it will lead you to that next opportunity.
Come on, brother.
Yeah. So
So one of the many things I've heard, right, and what you were saying is like your now is leading you somewhere, and it's important to figure out where it's leading you to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is it leading you to where you want to go?
Yeah.
And if it's not, what does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean for you?
Yeah. What is that? Yeah, absolutely. Right. And that's where that self-knowledge comes in, right? Because you gotta identify. So even when I look at that whole concept, so you got to make me just break down this whole this whole concept, right? So even when I say this concept, now the next, right? Now opportunity. I mean, your now situation is opportunity. I also look at it from two perspectives, and this is from my own personal journey, right? So there's the growth process, and then there's the building process. I know when in my journey, and even in my journey now, that sometimes I get too focused on my growth process that I forget about the building process. And then I start focusing on the building process and I forget about my growth process. But when you're trying to get to that next opportunity, my thought is or what I believe to be true to help you get to that next opportunity and be successful, right? So you don't want to get somewhere and then just be there without being able to handle, take care of, use whatever that situation looks like. So you got to bring them both together. So you have to grow and build at the same time, right? And that presents the opportunity for you to really understand that now, and then where you're going next. But there is a gap,
yeah,
right? So when I talk about this now, the next situation, it's really about let's identifying the gaps. So now we're talking about gap analysis. Right. And gap analysis, yes, it's a business term. A lot of businesses and organizations use gap analysis to find their weak spots, find out what's working and what's not working. Right. It's also another term of looking at how we face reality. But the way that I've identified gaps in my now the next blueprint is this. Gaps is we're either guessing at something, we're avoiding something, we're procrastinating at something, or bottom line, we're just plain stuck. Right. And when we think about these aspects of life, leadership, entrepreneurship, and business, these are all just pieces of the puzzle. They're all aspects of our life, but they're just pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
So when we think about these gaps, we need to ask ourselves, is there something that we're guessing at? And if we are guessing, what does that mean? Is that in the growth process, right? Is that in my life? Or am I avoiding something? Again, is that in the growth process? That could be in my leadership. You and me both know when leadership, avoidance is not great. It's something that we don't need to be doing as a leadership. But the question is why? Is it just a knowledge gap, or is there a fear of something? And then we could be procrastinating, right? Entrepreneurs, listen, we're good at that. We're good at procrastinating, right? We have a great idea, but we're like, okay, how do I make this idea? Or maybe this idea isn't, and we're always looking for validation, or we're trying to, instead of just executing, right? So what are we procrastinating on? And then in business, listen, brother, you and I both know again, sometimes you can just get plain stuck, right? You're not guessing, absolutely. You're not avoiding, you're not procrastinating, you just stuck. You don't know what to do, right? Your now situation is stuck, and you're like, what do I do next, right? And so when we identify those and really identify those specific areas, then we can go like, okay, now we can get into that gap analysis. You really start digging into the root of why we're doing one of the four things.
Come on, bro. Talk about it. Man, listen. My man just dropped the whole game on you. If you're rocking out with the Brothers of Influence podcast, he touched on life, leadership, and community. In fact, he set you up on the journey to successful entrepreneurship as well, if you were paying attention closely. Dropping some jewels. So, yeah, man. So going from your now to your next.
Yeah. I mean, like, even just, bro, like, just think about our conversations, right?
Yeah.
The things that me and you have talked about, right? And shoot, I wish Shantae was able to join us. Like, all three of us have definitely been, I mean, in this journey of, just building Brothers of Influence, right? We listen, we've gone through all those things, man. There was things that we were guessing. I don't know if there's so much things that we're avoiding, but there might have been. But there were some things that we procrastinated on, right? And then there were some times where we were just stuck. We were like, dude, like, what are we doing and what do we need to do, right? And finding that next op for where we're trying to go next. even now as you and your wife are building y'all's business and everything you're doing, like it's all the same, bro. It's all the same. We're always in that process, of growth and building, but we have to do it together, because when you build, you're also growing, right? So in building, you gain knowledge. In building, you get exposed to different things. In the building process, you identify who you are and what you do best, right? Which then translates back up into the growth process. So once you identify who you are and what you're doing and what you're exposed to, it then allows you to know, okay, do I have the knowledge necessary to do that?
Yeah.
Or right, or is there a skill set or a talent or something that I'm missing? Or I found out, like, hey, this might not be the best thing too, right? It might be the opportunity for a pivot. Right. So it all works.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, and I think that actually triggers another conversation, or we can kind of offshoot a little bit. But before I want to give a shout out to our brother Shante, who couldn't be with us this morning, bro. We miss you. Thinking of you. We know where he's at, so we know he's safe and he's well. So we're glad of that. But don't want to let this opportunity fly by without us giving him a shout out. And we talked about business. We got the growth coach of Greater Lexington on the line, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Giving that growth coach game.
Yeah.
Now, gotta love it. That's what we do as coaches. That's why we're connected. We have very similar values. And as growth coach of Greater Lexington, Sharada is your business coach. That's not the only thing he can coach you on, but that's one of his primary focuses. Is helping business leaders grow strategic in the areas of strategic thinking, planning, just overall entrepreneurial growth, etc. In addition to that, my name is Ian Williams. I'm your purpose coach. My wife and I happen to have a life and career success coaching program that we launched online within the last 30 days or so, and doing well with that. But it's very similar, but it's more on an individual level. While we can work with you if you're trying to start a business, ultimately we're really trying to help you if you're not sure what you want to do, if you're not clear, if you're just unhappy or unsatisfied with your present reality, but you don't know how to move towards the change you want in your life. You know that you're tired of showing up or not showing up in spaces or in ways that you feel like you should. You're just emotionally and mentally drained by the rigmarole of maybe your 9 to 5 or whatever the present reality is, and you just need to you realize that you're meant for more, that there's more to life, and you want to bridge that gap. That's what we with the Life and Career Success can help you find direction, find a sense of purpose in your daily life and work, so that you can get up and deliver your best work, to be your best self. And as we kind of talked about this, some of the things that Sharad talked about, we see similar results with our clients as well. One of my favorite stories, one of the reasons it's my favorite story, because it's still ongoing, is that we worked with a guy who came to us, and he was a complete skeptic. First of all, you show up and you're like, man, I don't really believe in coaching, but I need something.
Dude, you gotta love those, man. Like, I get it, right? I get it.
Like, I'm not, like, this seems kind of hokey, but like, I'm here because I'm at rock bottom. Like, I'm like, I don't just not like my job. Like, I hate my job. I feel dead inside, and I've felt this way for a while. And so, it was a privilege to kind of walk along and journey with this individual. And now on the outside of the program, he comes back and he's like, man, if I didn't go through this program, I never would have invested in myself. And the results speak for themselves, because he turned and invested. He learned the value of personal growth. He developed himself, invested in himself, allowed us the privilege of walking with him through that process. My man bridged the gap from his now to his next. And the thing he always wanted to do, 15 years in career, life and career, 15, 20 years in life and career, and never did the thing he wanted. It took him admitting what he wanted, and then what we did is we worked with him to figure out how to get him there. It's like you said, what are those gaps? Was knowledge a gap? Knowledge was a little bit of a gap. So We had to figure out what opportunities were out there for him. And guess what? There were opportunities. There were opportunities that he was able to take, more recently, but there were opportunities there for him. He just wasn't aware. Once he took the opportunity, but, it's interesting because things didn't immediately pop off for him.
Yep.
And so there was a little lull period, and he was like, "Man, I don't know." And we were like, we just we had to kind of be there. Keep believing, bro. You invested in yourself. You're taking steps. You're still investing. And once it started to roll, it didn't stop. Let me tell you, my brother, this man, once he got his first opportunity, I told him that's all you need. As soon as you get your first opportunity, get your foot in the door. That's all you need. So he got it. He got his first opportunity. Company brought him in. He got him a little raise, made more than he ever had, really. And then he started to hear whispers. Oh, well, other organizations are hiring with much better pay. He said, well, why don't I give it a try? One of the first people to get that job, increases income again. Just a couple weeks ago, he called me. He said, man, now that other organization called me back and they said they want to know what it would take to get me back. I said, well, what would it take? He said, well, probably about 10 to 15,000 more, and I want to stay at home because they didn't let me stay home first. I said, well, just let him know. He let him know. He's making double what he was making. I'm losing count. He got like 2 promotions.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I'm enjoying the story, right? I'm just enjoying the story. Yeah, man.
I'm trying to keep track. So he got the first job, and within the week he messaged me. He said, "Man, I think I found my dream job." Of course, it's your dream job. It's the thing you've always wanted to do. You just hadn't gotten to the point where you can do it. But now you're there, and you realize like it was legitimate. This is what you really always wanted to do. Yeah. You do that work. You enjoying it. You're making more money. Boom. You get another opportunity. You're making even more money, and you get to stay home. Whereas before you were having to go in the office, which, it was still your dream job. So you were like, well, it's all good. But now you're getting icing. It's icing.
That's good icing. That's that good good homemade icing, right? Just the right consistency, right? Hey, y'all rocking with us, man. Y'all have to listen to my man. Like, he just broke down again what his coaching does, and he just gave you a success story, bro. Like, he just literally told you, like, listen, it works, right? And I like it because, like you said, man, like with that client, he was skeptical with coaching, right? Like, I've been there, right? Even as a coach, and it's funny because even as a coach, I tell you that I have coaches that help me, right? Like, I don't see my life without a coach,
right?
Because the reality of it is, man, like we feel like we have to go through life by ourselves, and that's not right? That's not the case. There are people out here that experience life in a different way that can allow us and help us through our experiences, right? Because of the things that they experienced and been exposed to. And just like this gentleman that you just talked about, this client that you were working with, you and your wife, man, like, that's just a phenomenal story. So if y'all listen, hey, get to this life and career success. They got a Facebook page. They got a community. Join the community. Get in there and get connected and see if you're stuck in a certain area, if you need help, or you're just like this gentleman that's trying to figure out what that next step looks like, or if you're looking to try to find out, like, I'm in a career or a job that I don't like and I don't know where to go next. Hey, this man can help you do that. And you know what came to mind? I love it. And I think this is both of our testimonies to this. I heard this statement that success doesn't happen in a day, a month, or a year. But success is the days, the months, and the years of unrecognized work. Right? And I know just from our conversations, man, we didn't just wake up like this. Right. We didn't wake up and we was like, boom, oh, look what we got. Nah, bro, we've been doing this stuff for a minute. I know for me, when I started, just as things are unfolding for me, I found I was going back and looking at information and stuff I was doing back in 2013. Right. So I've been on this journey for a minute, and actually even stuff like 2011. So it's been a span, bro, some time, right? It didn't take months. It didn't take years. all that, right? And I didn't even realize all that stuff that I was doing would lead me to where I'm at today. And that, so
Yes,
that's
sir.
good stuff, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you're listening and you just feel like there's more for you, but you just don't know where to begin. If you feel the drain of living a mediocre life, everybody wants to live their best life. I want to live my best life, or this person's living their best life. Well, there's so many of us that are just leaving. We're settling for a mediocre life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you want to make a difference, but you just don't know where to start? You want to increase your influence and make money while doing it. Get over your fear of failure. That's what we do as coaches. These are the people we want to work with. Even if you're skeptical, you come in and you're like, man, I'm not sure about what this is about.
Yeah,
those are the best, man.
Right.
and my guy, not only did he get that last offer, doubling his income, getting to stay home, take care of his house and his kids. They just went on their very first. He and his family just went on their very first family vacation in 20 years of marriage last week.
Nice.
So, yes, sir. These are the sorts of things that are possible for you when you get real about your present reality.
Mm-hmm.
You're honest with yourself, and then you adjust your habits, your thoughts, your mindset, your approach to just life in general, which deals with everything, right? Your approach to home, your approach to work, your approach to how you navigate and face problems and challenges. Mm-hmm. All of these things can shift, and it might just be a slight shift, but a slight shift can be a game changer in the rest of your life, not only in your life but in your legacy.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, what we're doing is we teach you to fish. We're not handing you a fish. We're gonna teach you to fish. And once you learn these principles, once you get an understanding of how to lead yourself well, then what that's gonna do is it's gonna compel you to go turn around and teach to other people.
Yeah.
So these are literal growth and success strategies that you can apply to every area of your life to get to where you want to be. So the question is, what sort of impact do you want to make?
Yeah. And man, like, so we've been saying, the starting place. So the reality of it is everything starts with you. So that's where it starts, right? So it's making that choice and the decision. Everything is about decisions. Everything where you are in your now, right, is based on all the decisions you made prior to then. Where you go next, it's going to be all about the decisions you make from your now as you identify where you're trying to go. Right. So it's all about making those decisions. And the thing about it is, right, I talked about growth and building. So growth is intrinsic, right? So it's that intrinsic work. But what happens is when you do that growth, that internal work, what happens is then that build becomes extrinsic, meaning that all the work that you did then becomes visible, because now you can take everything that you've done and prepared yourself, then becomes seen by everybody else, which is now your building process. But that's why you have to put them both together, right? That's why it makes sense. Or my goal is to help you to understand that next opportunity is based on putting both the growth and the building process together, not separate, right? But it's easy for us to do because we just get caught up, we get focused.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And so once you gotten clear on your present, we can set the agenda, right? And that's the thing, like when you work with us, you set the agenda. And that's why it's different than every relationship that you probably have in your life. Because every other relationship you have in your life, people are going to come with their own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's not to say that's horrible or outright wrong, right? For example, our parents, whenever you're working with your parents and maybe they're giving you some advice, the advice could be amazing. It could be the best advice you might ever receive, but it's based on their filter and what they want for you in most cases. Now, I'm not saying this is every case. And I have children, right? And so when I'm working with my son, unless I'm intentional about coaching him, usually what I am instructing him to do has something with what I want from him, right? And that's part of being a parent. But at the same time, I have to step back and look and say, well, what do you want, son?
Mm-hmm.
What is your goals? At some point, he's going to have to learn how to formulate his own goals and not look to his mom and I to tell him how things should look or be in his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it requires intentionality, because naturally I'm going to come with my own desires, and if I'm not careful, I will spend his lifetime, our time together, imposing what I want on him. Mm-hmm. And so coaching is specifically like, we go in and we say we're taking what we want out of the picture. So it got nothing to do with what we want, how we feel. This is all 100% focused on you. Mm-hmm. What do you want? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, but there's just not many people in my life that's ever just sat down and asked me, like, what do I want? Matter of fact, most people have just told me and then told me what I wanted and expected me to be happy about it. And you don't even think about the dynamic of personalities. If you're a more compliant personality, you're around a lot of dominant personalities, they're gonna run your whole life. Mm-hmm. Until you wake up one day and realize, man, they wrote my whole story.
You didn't even get to put a period or a comma nowhere in that.
So what do you want? Then once we get that, you know, we can look at the obstacles. What has held you back? If you really want this, if this is the thing you really want, what has stopped you? Because you ain't got it yet. And how long have you wanted it? Just case in point, my friend, my case study, the guy that works in the program, he wanted that dream job. How long? ... How long had it been his dream? ... And yet he had never taken steps prior to going through our Life and Career Success program.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And once we were able to step back and he dealt with that question, then we were able to transition on to what opportunities were actually available. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It wasn't out of reach. He spent years feeling like it was out of reach, like he couldn't change the course of his life. And let me tell you, like, one of the things we always say, you can't change your destination in a day, but you can change your direction. And so this skeptic came into this program, and because he was willing to shift his direction, it changed the trajectory of his entire career. Set him on the path to land his actual dream job. Make more money than he's ever made. And I don't think it's a leap, brother, to say, and then take his whole family of 5, on their first week-long family vacation ever. Now,
I mean, what else do you say? You're right, drop the mic.
Ever,
right?
Bro.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Right, like so one of the things you said, right, was, you know, again, it's all about change, right? Like, you know, you said you can't change your
destination in a day.
But you can change your direction in one day, right?
Yeah.
Right. And for me to add on to that, it's all about, and you've heard me say it a million times, man, you can't change anything if you're not willing to face it. Right? You can't change anything if you're not willing to face it. So he had to make the change, right? He had to face it, the reality of, like, bro, I need help, right? And at that particular point, he made that decision that I need help, which then led him to the next decision to then change direction, right? So, you know, one of the things that comes to mind, man, like, so for me as a growth coach, we have the strategic mindset process, man, 5-step process, right? So I know we've been talking about life, but life and business are all one and the same. Like, they're the same side of the same coin, or two sides of the same coin. There it is. That's the saying, right? Two sides of the same coin, right? Like, it really is. I mean, on one side is life, on one side is business, right? But it's the mindset, bro. That's really what it is. Like any change that you're looking to do, any growth that you're looking to have, anything that you're trying to build, any pivot that you want, any direction that you're trying, it's all about the mindset. You have to believe it first, right? So it's then facing reality. What does my reality look like? What's working and what's not working?
Yes, sir.
Right? What's working and what's not working? And this means you have to sit down and really say, okay, slow down, pause, and really reflect. And then you got to identify what's self, right? Where am I at? Self-knowledge, getting that information. Who am I? What are my talents? What are my abilities? Next, you got to go into your relationships. Who's around me? Who am I connected to? I'm connected to this guy right here, right? This guy right here, I'm connected to him. He's a part of my relationships, right? And because of my relationship with him, I'm now connected to some positive influences, right? He's a positive influence in my life, which helps me make decisions, helps me with my mindset, right? And then again, we move to strategic focus and priority management. How do we prioritize, right? That's so important, bro. Like, we have a lot of things going on, right? And things are only going to get crazier because if you're listening to this and you didn't know, we're in a recession right now. We're in a recession. So guess what? Whatever you prioritizing, I guarantee you're going to have to reprioritize. You're going to have to make adjustments. And are you strategically focused enough to identify what those priorities look like? And then lastly, you got to make sure it matches with your vision and goals, man. Where are you going? What are you doing? Does it match? Right? So yeah, my man's talking about, again, his client and just the transfer or the transformation and the transition that's happened in his life just by going through his coaching services and what he's been able to do for himself and his family. Right? He had to make the decision, then he had to change his mindset and believe in what he was doing, and like the rest is history. We've heard the story. Like, he changed his income, changed everything about it, and then took his family on a week vacation. I'm mad I didn't get an invite. I was hoping I would have paid my way, but I wouldn't want to go. Right? Went on a vacation. So that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man. So this is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Life, leadership, and community. We got the growth coach of Greater Lexington on the line. He can help you in your life, leadership, and your business, and entrepreneurship. Come on. That's more than a triple threat. I don't even know what to call it. Is it a quadruple threat?
It's a quadruple, bro. It's a quad. It's a quad. I got you. It's a quad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dropping jewels this morning.
Yeah.
Life-changing information, ladies and gentlemen. Life-changing information. The reason we say that is because it's changed our lives.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Yeah. Can't speak to something that I haven't experienced. Right. Can't, because in that point it's just theory. Right. And we can get theory from books. Right. And I'm not even saying that everything in the book is theory, but what I'm saying is that we get information. It's when you put it into action, right, that you then identify if it really works or not. Right. So it's getting the information and then putting it to action. Or the way I like to look at it is it's that whole evolution to elevation. Right. It's the application of the information. Right. And then that just leads you to that next level, right, which is the elevation in any of your situation, because you now have the knowledge, you now evolve. So it all starts with you. Once I grow, everything connected to me grows. Right?
Come on, bro. Come on. Say that one more time. I mean, just keep that.
Yeah. Like, when I grow, everything connected to me grows. When I change, everything connected to me changes. Right? I am the common denominator in every situation. The common denominator. So I have the influence to influence my situation. Right? I have to influence my situation. So it's important for us to really know and understand that, again, we are in control. We're in control of our destination. We are in control of our destiny, right? And it's all about the decisions that we make, but then the mindset that behind the decision that we make. So it's decision, but it's the mindset behind the decision, right? And the mindset is basically based on all the information that we have available to us. It's all about the relationships that we're connected to. And then it's all about where we're trying to go and what we're trying to build. And again, my man already told you, man, it's all about legacy. What are you trying to leave behind? What is it that you're leaving for your family, for the next generation that's coming behind you? That's legacy. How are you going to leave your print? How are you going to leave your imprint? Right? There's a lot of people that came before us that have paved the way, and it's our charge to continue to move that path, move that needle, push it further. Doesn't mean that it has to be done the same way, but it does mean that it does have to move. It might move in a different direction, but as long as it's moving in some direction, that's the purpose. That's the goal.
Come on. He's on a roll. He's on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. He is on a roll. He said, when I grow, everything connected to me grows. Yeah. That's the essence, man. That's that juice. That's what gets me really excited, man. People don't realize the ripple effect of personal growth, right? People come into these sessions and they walk with us in hopes of, getting a raise, maybe getting promoted, start a business, but they don't realize, low key, the real agenda is that emotional, spiritual, mental promotion that happens.
Go ahead and say that one more time, bro. I love it. I love it. Say it again.
That emotional, mental, spiritual promotion that happens.
Hey, listen. Hey, forget about the other promotions, bro. Forget about that business promotion.
Yeah,
that emotional, spiritual, and mental promotion.
Yes, sir. Yeah. No, man, listen, my guy is really happy he got more money. He's happy he gets to work remote 100% of the time. But I'm happy because wife came around and was like, man, I can see a total difference in your demeanor every day when you come home from work. And the kids stopped me and told me that you were a lot happier and they weren't sure why.
Let's go. That's it right there.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's the money, right? That's the money.
I noticed that you have a lot more patience lately and that you've just been enjoying us more.
Enjoying life.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love he got the money.
Right.
I love he had it to take his family on vacation. But the fact that he even wanted to spend time with the family, that he was then intentional about it and made memories the entire time.
Man, and bro, so I'm gonna have to testify, right? Like, put a little testimony on that, bro, because I was that guy. I was on that other side of that, bro. Like, there have been times where I've been on vacation, right? And yeah, my financial situation wasn't the best situation, and I was stressed out, right? So what did that mean? What did that happen? What kind of energy was I taking into a vacation, right? Like, so I'm stressed on a vacation, then I come back, I'm stressed, right? And the thing about it is, and I mean, this just being transparent, bro, like, my wife has told me, she's like, yeah, I didn't enjoy that because I already knew that you were stressed out. You know what I mean? Like, if you stress, like, we have to understand that translates, man. People feel that, especially our families, right? So being able to be able to go on that vacation that he hadn't gone in 20 years, go relax with his family and be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually present. Bro,
come on.
Hey, that is currency.
Yes, sir.
Right? That is currency.
Yes, sir. And that's what I get excited about.
Yeah.
That is exactly what that's why I do what I do. Frankly. Because I want to see those results for everybody. Right? I want your life, I want your career, your business to play the role it's meant to play and not to run your life.
Yeah. And it's easy for that to happen.
Exactly. It is. It's not only easy, it's common. It's a common reality for most people. Yeah. So getting from you now, being honest about the fact that yes, this is running my life. Like, I want this business to be successful, but it's ruining my marriage. I want this business to be successful, but I'm literally spending no time with my children. Right? It's consuming my every waking thought, and I'm spinning out of control, and I'm turning to things
Yep.
I'm turning the stuff to cope, which is even pulling me further away. Instead of figuring out, and it sounds simple, but instead of really looking at this situation and figuring out what needs to change.
Yep.
In order for me to be who I want to be and show up as fully in the places where I know I should.
Yeah. And see, so that's good. So quick pivot, right? So even as business owners, or so like there's a difference between self-employed and entrepreneurship.
All right.
Right. So, we were just talking about that again. It's so easy for us to get caught up in our job and get caught up in just that and feeling stuck and realize that's just consumes our everything. And a lot of us think because that we are entrepreneurs or that we got a business, but the business is all about being able to grow it. Right. So it's going through that growth cycle. And the difference between it, even as a self-employed individual, you still have a job. Entrepreneurship is being able to then turn around and grow the job to where you position yourself to where it grabs so much of the market that then you don't even have to then be present at the job. Right. Now we're talking about passive income. Right.
Yes,
now
sir.
we're talking about a job that, again, when you're not there, money's still hitting your account.
Yeah.
Right. And that to me, that is I think every business owner, every person who gets into business, that is the goal. Right. To where I should not have to work it. At least for me, that's what I think every business owner wants to do. Right. They didn't get into business to have a job. They got into business because they had a vision. Right. They had a vision. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that vision. Yeah, we lose sight of that vision and we get caught up in trying to just work the day-to-day, the operational aspects, all those different things that come with a business. And then that's where the stress comes in. That's when, the short-temperedness, you're counting every pin. Like, bro, I'm telling you, and I'm not saying this just because I know it. I'm telling you this because I experienced it.
Yes,
right?
sir.
That was me, right? That was me looking at everything, stressed out. Listen, that was me. Now, listen, I'm not saying that I'm completely free from that, but I'm more aware and I'm more apt to handle it now.
You're healthier.
Right? My man, that's the word I was looking for. I was healthier, or I'm healthier, and I'm getting healthier every day.
Yes.
Right. Every opportunity. Right. Being on this podcast, sharing this information. Guess what? This is just releasing all that for me. I'm getting healthy just talking about it on here.
Come on, bro.
Right. Talking with my man Ian, talking with my man Shante, right? Like that's the community that we're talking about when we talk about brothers of influence. Right. Life, leadership, and community.
Yes, sir.
Life, leadership, and community, man. These are the things that we have to talk about. And sometimes we can't articulate it, right? We don't have the words to say. We don't even know what that really looks like. We feel it, but we can't translate it into words, right? And that's because you haven't really faced the reality, right? You haven't faced it. If you want something to change, you have to face it.
Come on, brother.
So,
hey, man, salute to you, man, for your transparency. That's real. That's real. And just to kind of add, as far as my background is letting other people hold the pen. Spent a lot of years letting other people hold the pen, man.
Yeah.
Had a lot of good, well-intentioned people that love me. But the only person who should have been holding the pen was me. And it took me a while to figure that out. It took me years to figure it out. But slowly and surely, I took ownership. And I'm still taking ownership, just like Shiraz said. I'm getting healthier every day. Talking about it, I'm getting healthier.
Yes,
being in business for myself is an exercise in holding the pen.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
So that's an area of growth for me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I love that too, like holding the pen, man, because it's no different than driving a car, bro. Right? Like you can either get in the driver's seat and have control of it, or you can get in the passenger seat. And there's a lot of us that get in the passenger seat and then try to tell the driver where to go. If you already knew where you were going or you had a destination, then there's no reason for you to get in the passenger seat or the back seat. Backseat driver, passenger driver. If you can't tell the person who got the wheel where to go, I mean, you can, but they're in control. But if you want to have control, like my man said, he took control of the pen, right? Mm-hmm. He took control of the pen, or again, get in the driver's seat. All right, get in the driver's seat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
yes,
sir.
Up. If you don't write your story, somebody else will. Believe me. Whether it's an individual or it's society. Society will be quick to place you where you get in, where you fit in. Now, bro.
Yep. And what is that saying, right? Like Emerson, he has a quote. What is that quote? I can't think of it right now. But something to the effect that basically that life that the world doesn't give you the opportunity to be your true self. Like they'll tell you what to do, how to do it. I done messed up our whole flow. That's what I do.
That's all right.
Yeah. Oh, what is that quote? I can't think of it now. It's gonna drive me crazy.
That's all right, brother. Listen. You've already said a mouthful today, man. I think we have met our mission. We've met our goal. You, brother, have encouraged. You have inspired. You have added value on today's 20th episode of the Brothers in Influence podcast.
That's what's up. That's what 20.
Man, 20. Episode 20. Man, so as we wrap up, bro, any final thoughts, any final words you want to leave with the people? Because it's the last thing you say is going to stick with them. So what?
Man,
what you got?
The last thing I would say is just find out what it is that you love to do and find every opportunity to try your best to get in the space, in the area, in the job that allows you to do that. And I'm telling you from experience, man, that again, what I'm doing with this brother and our man Shate is what I love doing. Coaching, what I love doing. Teaching, what I love doing. Helping people, what I love doing. And when you can identify those opportunities, then embrace those opportunities and then identify how can I make this my current reality, right? How can I make that my reality? That it makes that I'm doing the one thing that I love and I do that every day. Now, the thing about it is you're going to have to stop, pause, and be with yourself and understand what that looks like. But once you identify it, everything is going to be icing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So listen, you have been rocking with the growth coach of Greater Lexington. You've been rocking with Ian Williams, your purpose coach. Man, it's been a pleasure. We're excited because we got some things popping off here very soon. It's going to switch up the format a little bit. We're 20 episodes into season 2. And so just keep a lookout as we look to announce and look to shift what we're doing. We got we're gonna have some guests. We're gonna mix it up a little bit. But all in the effort, in the spirit of encouraging, adding value to you. So we appreciate you, whether you're watching live or on a replay, for rocking out with us. We hope that you got some value out of the time we had today together. We love y'all. We out.
Peace.